All right. Woo, double triple, man. Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy 360 Stacks in this thing, baby, representing TKOG. I got some goo, man. I got some stuff. I just really wanted to make a random TENYI deck because I was researching again in the database, and then I remembered Jewels of the Valiant. And I always wanted to make a TENYI deck using this. Like, you can do like TENYI Orcus, you can do TENYI Tearlaments. This deck really ties, this card really ties a lot of archetypes together. It's just like Foolish Burial, but like better because it's a continuous, so. My mouth. Yeah, I really like this card a lot. This was the main inspiration for this list, and it just ended up becoming like so formidable and so fun. I really like it a lot. It has so many different toolboxes built into it. And even though it's not meta per se, I built this deck to be able basically to build boards to counter like all these different matchups that I'm going to be running into. So it's like a mesh of so many archetypes and just so many good splashable engine cards that enable me to just produce insane turn 1 boards while playing through a crap ton of hand traps. And also just having like going second cards that function with your engine or like corresponding pieces to like starters, like for example Small World being tied to cards like these. I just think this deck is just so dope. It's really, really cool. It's really fun. I like it a lot. It's amazing. This deck is definitely one of my favorite decks right now. It has an explosiveness that just really just can't. It's limited to the amount of cards you can play your extra deck. Like, there's a lot of stuff I'm still messing around with because stuff comes up and changes. And ultimately, I keep running into this thing where I just really wish I could have like 3 level 5s, 3 level 6, 3 level 7s, 3 level 8s, 2 level 9s, and 2 level 10s. But you just can't get that, right? And so there's just like so much this deck can do. And you've seen the side deck. This is just like all good worm support that I used to play, and I took it all out messing around with it. Mirror is a card that like if my extra deck wasn't so insane, it would be like a lot better, but there's just too much going on right now. Like, there's way too much, and oftentimes what I found myself running into in testing was like Mirror couldn't work enough because I didn't have enough space. And then I had to change my extra deck to be able to make room with Mirror and to get the full usage. And it just, I was like doing TG Hyper Librarian plays and just drawing a crap ton of cards. And ultimately, it's not that it's bad. It's just like a lot of these cards just didn't make the cut. I was playing like a lot of non-effect support. There's a continuous spell that pops a card every time a non-effect summon. This card's crazy. Order. This card is also goo. Right here. Order the Charge. Basically, you just have a TENYI link you can just pop, and it gets, the main thing was this is like a non-engine that allowed me to just deal with the Rice Heart, because the Rice Heart's super annoying for this deck sometimes. You had Successor Soul, you had Order, you had that continuous card that just lets you like pop a card every time you summon a non-effect. It's just like, this deck is so good. It generates so much advantage and pressure, and everything in the deck is accessible through a multitude of cards. Like, it's crazy how the combos like work and just what you can do. It's so fun. I don't know really what to call this deck. It's not really like based per se. It's just straight up just like meta mash. It's my thing. I love doing this. I love making 60 card just nonsense decks. This is one of the funnest things I do. It's like one of the things that is just my passion in the game. I love doing stuff like this. It's so hilarious, and it really works. It works so well. Every single card in this deck, like, is searchable. Like, everything. It's so amazing what this deck can do. So if you like this kind of content, definitely consider subscribing to the channel. Leave a like if you liked the video. Leave a dislike if you didn't. If you subscribe, click the notification bell so that you don't miss a single upload. And if you want to be coached by me, definitely consider signing up to the Patreon. But nonetheless, join the Discord, bro. Let's get it. So my going second cards are all searchable as well. So I'm playing 2 Lava Golems. I'm also playing 2 Korikata. I like these better than the hand traps. I wanted to play a crap ton of non-engine. I just wanted to be just like explode out of nowhere. So I like these a lot. Context C and Retaliating C are searchable through like almost every turn 1 combo, unless you choose not to go that route. But these are searchable through pretty much every combo. You really don't need your normal summon most of the time, so you can even just normal Retaliating if you want to just like get access to contact. That's why it's like really, really cool, because you search hand traps in the middle of your combo, and it makes your turn 1 board just so crazy, because like if you play Branded, you go Retaliating, and there's not a lot that they can do under Retaliating. If you play against Cash or like other decks like that, you go for Contact C, and you can get just so much. It's just ridiculous. Eclipse just makes a lot of sense to me. I really like this. You can't turn tokens face down, so this being used playing into boards isn't as bad. Like if other points of interactions come up, your tokens cannot be flipped face down, so you can always use this more reactively than you can in other decks. So I like this card a lot. It's really, really dope. I'm playing double Arbusk. I just don't know how to pronounce this properly. This is also part of the combo. Turn 1, you summon Power Tool. You're going to equip this, and you're going to equip the Draco back. I was messing with other equips, but I just... Ultimately, these were part of the engine, so these just already had a home in my deck, and it just didn't require for me to play other stuff. Draco back actually can be equipped to any monster. It only bounces when it's equipped to a non-effect monster. But fortunately, in the combo, when you get access to your Brave stuff, you can actually sack this off via this bad boy right here, and then use this effect engrave to re-equip it to a token, so you can actually do the bounce if you want to. And it's really good mileage too going second, because like Braver can just like clear a threat, like negate something, then this gets re-equipped to a normal, then you bounce, and then you can do this. And this also helps you to pseudo recycle your extra deck, because whatever you equip it to, it just gets bounced. It's really, really tight. I like this. These are going second cards as well, because you always have non-effect monsters like all the time. So these are all going second cards. The whole Brave engine is like just a going second card engine. Like I don't really go for Dracoback for protection. I just do it for levels so I can synchro. Sometimes I just go for an Enchantress off of like I go right Adventure, go into Enchantress, especially if I have like my Apple combo, because typically I'll just go boom, sync for 5, effect, get Black Garden, produce token, boom, make token, go into Paralysis, use her effect, bring back Garden Rose off the token, and then use your level 3 extender, and then go into Crystal Wing using her, and you use your other level 1 extender to go into a level 8 if you want to, or you can use your level 2 extender to go into Power Tool if you haven't already, or you can use your level 3 extender to go into Baron off her. Typically off that combo you get Baron Crystal Wing, and you still keep going, you're not done. So you're just putting up Baron Crystal Wing in the middle of your combo just because. Like this deck's so cool. Like it's so cool. It's not tier 1 broken, unbeatable, unbreakable. It's just so dope because like the boards are so layered with interaction. You have disruptions coming from the grave, the hand, the field, and you could just summon like all these different boss monsters. You can even do Mud Dragon combos right here. And you can make Dragoon. You can make Mirror Jade. Like there's so much more that you can do. There's a lot that's still being tested. So this is something that I really want to do, but ultimately extra deck space is a huge problem for this deck. It's a big problem. Like I need 30 cards in my extra deck to do everything I want to do, because this deck has more options than like all the synchro decks right now. The only thing that's comparable is like the traditional base with like the Rose Dragons, but that didn't have all these options either. Even that couldn't do everything that this deck can do and make all the cards this deck can make. Small World's also like a going second card as well. These are like starter / going second cards. Small World can search like your going second cards as well. Vishuda's actually super sick too. Like Vishuda is so sick with it. Like this card actually outs Shangri-La, which is really, really cool. I am on 3 Vessel because you have a lot of ways to produce non-effect monsters. Do your Brave tokens, do your Tenyis. Apple puts a non-effect, and it's just, this card's just so much pressure. It's so powerful going second. And going first, it's just absolutely disgusting. Because you can just add Adhara and just summon Adhara, which is just beautiful. That's a level 1 tuner extender. It's crazy, like, based on what extenders you get access to more consistently in your hand, that can change the entire board you make. But I have, like, all these default settings for all these different boards you can make based on what tuners you get more of. So if you get the 3s, like that Crystal Wing Baron stuff, like that happens more often. If you get the 1s, you're going like Yazi plays, you're going into Boro, you're going into the level 9s and the level 10s, but you're climbing in the process. Like you're going Excel, you're going Dump Jet, and then you're just synchro climbing. And you typically will go Excel like to make them a level 6, and then you take one of your random level 3s, and you can go into Power Tool, or if you just have a 4, like the token, the level 4 token, you just go straight into Baron. But the cool thing with the 9 playoff Excel, when you make them a 6 and dump your Jet, is like you can take him and the one of your 3s and then go into the Power Tool, do the combo off that, and then use Jet, bring itself back, and then turn him and the Jet into Baron when you're done using the equips for what you want to do with them. Because this is going to get re-equipped to the Brave token anyways, and this is going to get re-equipped to the Makonko that you summon. Like the Makonko engine is both, like that was also the theory with a lot of these going second cards, is they have to be engine. Like this deck's supposed to be just pure engine, but your engine ties to going second. So this is a going second card because it just bounces. This is a going second card because it just bounces. These cards do what they do. So I like this a lot. So it's not only just two free bodies to extend more, because the level 3 non-tuners matter too. Like, she's important because she's a level 3. Like, you do so much in your combos with her. It's just extra bodies. It's almost like a similar concept with the Rose Dragons, except you're doing it with like tuners and non-tuners, and you're not just playing like Basil Rose Shoe and this stuff and just being like, hey, if I combo these cards are live, but if I can't combo, they're just not good going second cards. You're playing like cards that are like, these cards can combo pretty much every hand, but also when you're going second, they're going second cards, and I like it a lot. And so she's just like double extension. She's so good, and you just get free bounces too. Like, going second is just free pressure. Most of the time, people are gonna lock the monster zones with this. So once you bait homeboy, bait a Rice Heart, and they lock all your monster zones. I mean, they lock like 3 of your monster zones. You can bait a Rice Heart. You might have a chance to resolve this. You know, it just depends how many zones you have. So it's not that great in the Cashier matchup, but it really shines in every single other matchup. Like, the only problem with the Cashier matchup is you have to summon first, then bounce. I wish it was like all at once, like bounce and then summon, like the monster that's equipped, like you bounce that and then like you summon from deck and then re-equip this from grave to that. That would make this so much more broken in the cash matchup, because then you could have 5 zones locked and you can activate and then bounce bounce Shangri-La and then summon. If the wording was reversed, like backwards, this card could be activated with, you know, fully locked zones, which would make it like a 3 of automatically. But yeah, Vessel is just crazy, you guys. And this is really the best card in the deck. This is the best card in the whole deck. Jewels of the Valiant is so broken. So you just banish a monster from your grave. You can dump Enchantress. You can dump like a TENYI name. It just literally has to have this, just a different attribute. Like, your whole deck just is all different attributes. And so, like, even let's say you're just going banish. Like, let's say you banish Enchantress, right? Like, you go banish Enchantress. You can trigger Jewels of the Valiant. And you can go effect to Foolish TENYI, or you can go effect to Foolish Apple. You can go effect to Foolish Jet. You can go effect to Foolish Mirage, because Mirage can actually be brought back. You can also go effect to dump Goki Pole. Go Goki Pole effect, add Retaliating, and then that's a hand trap. You can go Goki Pole effect, add Retaliating still, and then you can normal Retaliating, synchro with it, and then get its effect if it's sent from the field, not win, so it'll search for contact. You can also go Goki to bring out Killer Needle, because that's a way to get access to non-effect, like more non-effect extension, because like having non-effect monsters on the field actually matters, and this card being a level 4 is actually a really big deal. And it being an insect, because like the level 4s help you a lot with like just going into your 8s, because one of the really dope 8s, Diablantis, or however you say his name, you can use this guy even to get access to the Goki Pole package with like the hand traps searches and stuff like that, even if you don't have jewels. Like, that's the thing, everything in this deck searchable. There's like a lot of combos. There's even the zombie variant that I'm working on, and it's mainly this guy's the inspiration. It's a Mortal Dragon. You can do him in the middle of the combo too, but a lot of the zombies you can dump just don't have enough synergy with like what you want to do with this deck. And so jewels, ultimately just look at it as a continuous card that lets you basically Foolish Burial any monster. So you can Foolish Enchantress, all that stuff. Just anything you want, and it's so easy to banish cards of this deck. It's literally just, it's free real estate, like literally. Even the combos, you just pop Yazi, go Yazi effect, like banish, and you go Taye, dump something, and you go Yazi effect, banish. Guess what? You just you go Taye effect, banish. You just trigger Jewels of the Valiant. So it's freaking crazy. Even if this gets like impermed or whatever, like you go banish, trigger Valiant, dump something, and just keep playing. And so the TENYIs, I'm playing 9. I'm just playing like the good ones. The level 4 one does not really come up in this list like that, because the only way you can truly access it is either if you hard draw Vessel or you resolve Ashina, both of which you don't want to do. You want to use Vessel for tuner access. You have a lot more ways to get level 4 bodies and non-tuners than you have tuners, so it doesn't really come up. It's not worth the 1-up slot. Instead, Foolish is better. The second Adventure is also super relevant. Double up on both of these if you're playing my deck. Like, you trust me when I say you have to. You just have to. They're going to come up. I promise you they will. There's even more engines you can play, like Illusion of Chaos, all that junk, but there's too much. And ultimately, you just want to play what has the most synergy with your deck and what's not greedy. And Foolish is just the nuts, you guys. It literally is just the nuts. E-Telly, the reason why I'm on double Xiamen, it was originally just 1 and 1, is because you actually, there's plays where you literally go Xiamen into Foxy into another Xiamen, so you can have double level 3 tuner access. which is a big deal. You can play more bricks by playing like the Trap Searcher instead and just get another interruption. But I wanted to. There's traps you can search like this. You can search the Blackout. You can search this. You can search the Punk Trap. I wanted this deck to be all gas, no breaks, not a single break in it. The only break would be if you draw like a weird brick like Black Garden or this that can only be equipped to a Mekonko or this guy. You know, there's like a couple one-ups that are weird, but they normally mesh well. These are the only cards where you just like can't do anything with them. Everything else that you draw in this deck, outside of like these four right here, all can be used for different things. You know, they all have a purpose and they all can be comboed with. So no traps at all because every card has to be able to be used with this deck. And the Deer Note is just like insane, bro. Like it's so insane of the combo because you just go straight into Mantis. Like the punk engine into Mantis is so broken. Like it's so insane, bro. Like you literally just go Mantis and all you're doing, like you're just foolishing one. You're just foolishing Goki Pole and going Goki Pole, and you can either extend, which does matter because Deer Note can actually bring back again. It just brings back literally any punk, right? So you can just go Deer Note, bring back Xiamen, and then Xiamen's a level 3, and then the Goki Pole got out Killer Needle, which is a level 4. So boom, you have a Synchro 7 play off of that, just off of the punk combo, like just off of that. Literally just going for the punk. You already have a Synchro 7 play, and off the Synchro 7 play, you can go for this bad girl right here. She summons a level 5 or higher, right? And you can just keep extending. It just depends if you already got access to your garden or not. But if you didn't, then you just go for the Yazi, and you pop the Yazi in the middle of your combo. Like you go into Tri-Edge, and you go try. This card's really broken too. I like this card a lot. Like you go Tri-Edge, and you go draw one, pop Yazi, Yazi effect, special Taye, go into Chizhao, and then go Chizhao into, where's my boy at? Sword Soul Strategist. I was thinking about playing one of these, because this came up like once or twice, where searching Emergence because you activated Get Any Worm was kind of nice. Like I just felt like it was broken, because I could go Emergence for Chaos Mirage, and if I haven't already normal summoned, you just go Chaos Mirage. But if you normally always have your Brave stuff, so if you have your Brave stuff, this isn't going to be as impactful. But it also is just like super clutch for clearing boards when you go second, especially when you Eclipse, because you're just banishing cards. And this just gives you recursion. However, outside of that, it doesn't really feel like, you know, it's just not really all that. And then the other thing was like Summit was something that I thought about. But ultimately, what you're doing is you're just using the Taye to dump, and then you're using the Chizhao to get Long Young like every single time, because you just want Long Young for extension, especially if you're trying to combo through more hand traps and to be able to win in time, and just for a easier way to get to Baron, because like you don't really go into 10 a lot. Like you go into all these other guys, and when you go into the 10, it's most of the time you're synchro climbing, so it's a lot easier in the middle of the combo just to be like boom, 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 and you still can do all your other stuff. Like the problem is monster zones with this deck and extra deck space. You run out of zones. You run out of extra deck space, so you're limited to what you can do, because the more synchros you produce, the less you can make. So yeah, the EMZ is like definitely necessary, and like Cherubini is here because it's so clutch, bro. Like Cherubini is actually super nice. It's really nice. You get hand trapped. You get hand trapped on your punk. Okay, that's fine. You special summon Enchantress, and you go link into Cherubini, Enchantress effect. Boom, get yourself another right. And then you go dump Goki Pole, you go Goki Pole effect, add Killer Needle, special summon Killer Needle, and now you have extension through hand traps, so now when that Foxy Tune brings out the other guy, you can just keep going. And plus you do it with Flare, and also it bridges into the Brave engine itself. So I like the Cherubini like a lot. It's really clutch, and the protection when you're going second. So there's just so much. This deck just does so much. It's so fun. You can make Herald of the Arclight. Like literally, bro, I can be long-winded talking about this because there's literally so much stuff you can do. The sky's the limit. It's all about what you put in your extra deck. So it's just insane. So the Punk engine, this guy is crazy. Apple Dragon is a beast. This is like one of my favorite cards in this deck. You just open this and right, and it's just like such a broken combo. Multiple things. You can go right, boom, Adventure, and you can grab Draco, right? Like let's say you grab Griffin, and then you go special him because you have a non-effect. You can do multiple things. You can go sync with him and him into the level 9, and then get your access to your Makonko engine. Get your Makonko code. Once you do that, you can use the Makonko equip, resolve it, summon her, use her effect, grab this, and then you banish special. Now you have a level 2, take her, and then the level 2, go into XL, use XL, you can dump Jet. It just gets crazy, bro. It gets so crazy. And you can even use XL to increase this level instead of reduce it. So that way you can take the XL and then the token from Rider of Major, the level 4, to go into Baron. And then you still have Jet and Grave. So you can take that Jet, and then you can use that in the sequence of the combo when you bring her back out. You take her, you take the Jet, and you just take like any random. Just any random. It could even be like just a random level 4 or level 3, and you could just synchro climb even more. It's just gross, bro. It's just gross. Or you can even go the other route with her that I was describing in the beginning of the video, where you would just go Apple with Enchantress, go into Rose. I like going for this because it's like an FTK against Kashtira. Because against Kashtira, when you fill them, they're filled with 5 tokens. They can't do anything, you know. They can tribute summon, don't get me wrong. They can tribute summon, but it's like, okay, what are you really going to do? It's so awkward. It's so hard for them to play. Like, bro, I just like this card a lot. I think this card is so gross. And then against Branded, it's really awkward too. I just like it. It's so cool. And not everybody's extra deck's prepared to do something with those tokens. So it's like a risk you're willing to take. And you can always just go pop and then bring something back anyways. But like, it's just really, really cool when you can do that. Just go Apple, boom, go into her, get effect, get the Garden. And then you go token. And then you synchro climb into her, use her effect, bring that back. You have P.U.N.K extension, you have other extension, just deck's just full of gas, full of extenders. Or you just have a non-effect, so you could have summoned Adhara in the middle of it. So much you can do. You can take her, the Adhara, and you can synchro into Crystal Wing, because guess what? She is a non-tuner synchro, and Adhara is a tuner, so you can go into Crystal Wing. You have more gas, you take her, and do whatever you want with her. You can play Zolkin. It's just too much this deck can do. Like, it's crazy. It's build a board workshop times 10. And every combo, you're always going to search hand traps. You want to make sure that you search for your Branded and your Cash matchup. That's all you really care about, is like Branded and Cash. Every other deck is not going to be that difficult to deal with. With the board you're making, you don't need to search hand traps for the other decks. Your board's actually just good enough. Like Baron, Crystal Wing, Savage. Like, you can have Baron, Crystal Wing, Savage, Appaloosa, just like nutty. You can end on Power Tool. Like, you can do so much, bro. You can go Chi-Shao, Baron, Crystal Wing. You can go Chi-Shao, Baron, Power Tool, plus Appaloosa. Like, sometimes I just make Appaloosa just so I can have space. Because especially with like certain synchros, their effects are just there to climb. So her and him, they're all expendable. You just go into Appaloosa to make space so that you can keep comboing. That's another thing that Appaloosa solves, is like, you just won't have space. So you just make Appaloosa just so you can literally have space to keep comboing. Because this deck combos for a long time. So I really love this deck a lot. It's so cool. It's so fun. I really don't know what to call it. I'm just going to call it the Jules deck. Because Jules is broken. Jules can Foolish Barrel anything. I could Foolish Barrel a tier limit right now, which is crazy. I actually have a tier limit list playing Jules in it, because Jules is just so broken. I have an Orcus deck playing Jules in it because Jules is so broken. Any deck that banishes as part of the engine consistently, play Jules in it. Just play Jules, bro. This card is so broken. It's so crazy. Foolish Burial at 4? What? No freaking way, bro. Especially in Branded, when Branded Fusion's already a Foolish, and you literally banish in your combos. Bro, come on now. It's not really a quote-quote going second card. In this deck, it is, because of all the ways that you can just break boards. Whether you're resolving Goki to pop, getting Nido, because like almost everything's smaller than 12. And so, like, I mean, almost everything's bigger than 12, so just go Needle Pop, get the Brave Engine, Vishuda Bounce. Vishuda Bounce is crazy against Shangri-La, I'm just saying, bro. Like, it's too fire. It really is. I like this deck. It's amazing. There's more you can do, but that means you have to play more stuff. And then these are all just tech cards that I played once upon a time, but I ended up taking them out because they were too niche, and I was too worm-eccentric when I first built it. It was just like a TENYI worm deck. Like, my dedicated normal summon was Parrotfish. But then I thought to myself, I'm really going out of my way for a normal summon. Why don't I just play the Brave cards? Because I get Synchro Climbing Extension, and I don't have to even allocate a normal summon, because I was really going out of my way to find a normal summon, because I just didn't have one. And if I don't need one, then I can play Lava Golem and the Brave cards. I think Lava Golem and the Brave cards are better than just going out of your way to look for a normal summon for this deck. I'm playing Double Monk. It does come up. Cherubini for the combo. Same with Appaloosa. So broken. And then Baron, Power Tool Braver, Crystal Wing, the Cockroach, Chijao, Borreload Savage. You're either equipping Monk or Cherubini. You just get a bunch of negates. Like just a crap ton of negates. Yazi. You only really need 3 negates and a hand trap to beat Branded. You only need 3 negates and a hand trap to... You really only need 2 negates and a hand trap to beat Cash. Because the only card that really can bait with Engine would just be the Fenrir. Like outside of Fenrir, they need their actual extra deck to pressure you. And it's just not really going to happen as long as you play your cards right. Contact C is just going to be more than enough. Because of the Contact C, like they literally have to like tribute summon, right? Crazy. And then this guy is crazy, bro. So this guy is OCG only. There's another Rose girl that you can play that can also pop your Yazi. She's the level 5 tuner. I was messing with her too. You can do extended plays with her, pop your Yazi, get out a token, and she's a quick synchro. But this guy is so much better, and being a level 6 matters, because like that was one of the things I was missing when I was testing with this deck. I was like, it wasn't like do or die, but it was coming up where I was like, dang, if I had a 6, it would be so much easier to do what I want to do, because I can synchro climb, but I need to like actually make a 6 first to be able to do what I need to do. And so this is perfect because he pops, he draws, and one of the most broken effects, he can make himself a tuner if you use 3 materials. I always use 2, but just nice to know. Garden Rose, she's crazy. She really is. Black Garden is so crazy, this format. I just like this card a lot. Like, especially when you play against like Labyrinth and their whole deck is a meme, they can't do anything with the tokens. Like, their whole deck is a meme. Their whole extra deck is a meme. Most of the time, it's not anything generic. They can't do anything with the tokens. Cash can tribute summon, yes, they can. But believe me when I say it's super awkward when you full combo and Black Garden them and you have Contact C, so the moment they tribute summon, you special Contact C. So guess what? They have 5 occupied zones. They already normal summon for turn. Please explain to me how they're going to out Contact C. They don't play links. They don't. And so you get what I'm saying? Like, that's why when I say when you play against Cash, you really don't need like 2 negates. Like, this deck can just FTK Cash going first, and you actually, in the middle of your combo, can put up Crystal Wing on your 5th summon, bro. On your 5th summon, bro. Your 5th. Yeah. You could do it on your 5th. It's crazy. This deck is just so amazing. If you're curious too, you can even do Baron. So like Token, that's 1 summon, right? Apple, that's 2 summons. You can go into Enchantress and all that stuff if you want, but you can simply go Token, Apple, that's 2 summons. Synchro for 6. Boom. Master. Effect, because you synchro summon this turn, banish, make Token. Token is a tuner, right? And you're going to draw off of him. You're not going to pop unless you're doing Yazi stuff. But you're going to draw off of him, so you draw 1. And then Apple is just literally going to make another token, so that's 4 summons, right? And then you take him and the Apple token, Crystal Wing. That's your 5th summon, Crystal Wing. That is one way. There's multiple ways. So as long as you can combo, which this is a combo deck, is built a combo, you're going to be able to beat Nib consistently. Like, you can put up Crystal Wing and Baron in the middle of your combo. You make Appaloosa pretty expeditiously. Like, there's just not a single hand trap that just destroys the deck. But if you draw like Nib, Droll, and Lockbird plus Infinite Impermanence, this deck's gonna fold to that. But like, come on now, bro. You're blessed if you draw literally. And I sat and thought too, is like, what hand trap combination? Nib, Imperm, and Droll can blow this deck out if you draw all 3 in combination. Shifter hurts a little bit, but this deck can do a lot under Shifter. It just restricts, like, you know, the Cockroach stuff. The Tenyis get hurt a little bit. The Punk stuff doesn't really care as much. Your Sword Soul stuff doesn't really care as much. Like, not as much as it would seem. And then you get a little bit less follow-up. You can't, like, do the Goki Pole stuff. You can't Jewels of the Valiant to dump. So at that point, you're going Jewels of the Valiant to banish. But I just like this deck a lot. Thank you guys so much for watching. God bless you. Make good choices. Don't hurt your brain cells. Stay tuned for future content. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Peace.